let's get this ball rolling, at least slowly. Maybe give it a slight push downhill. Um, so we return to our intrepid heroes. You guys were um, let's see here. There we go. You guys, where we left off. Let's see. You guys were in the temple in India, and you were facing down the brides of Durga and a whole bunch of men in suits, which you pretty much knew to be German soldiers or Nachtwolf soldiers. You're not certain, but there was a wonderful moment where Pilecki was trying to negotiate with them because you guys had found the weapon. You guys had the weapon in your hands, though it seems to be broken. It's missing the trigger or something. And Pilecki was trying to negotiate, and Slim decided to pull a grenade and dropped it, which had Henry Baker kick the grenade into the Germans where it went off and took most of them out, honestly. Big fight ensued, um, I, and which, of course, you guys came out victorious, though with some injuries, I think, if I remember correctly.
They were healed, yes.
Ah,
Connor's still mightily injured. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 little X's.
eh, perfect. Does he have any actual injuries?
I believe so, yes. He has a arrow.
Ah,
I don't know if that's true because
scar. It's a scar.
blessings of Ushus, though. And
yeah.
Well, it's under injuries. It says arrow, and then scar, arrow to leg. I think it was still to be determined, maybe. What?
no, I've got that in the notes, buddy.
No?
You sealed the wound on Slim, and you sealed the wound on your leg.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Cool.
you
Thank
guys
you.
rolled to avoid scars, and unless I'm mistaken, you were both successful. Let me double check.
Correct.
Okay, so that's leftover notes that need
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
taken out. Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
So you defeated them. Pilecki did do a remote viewing on the weapon and determined that it was a much older gray bearded Khan himself who broke the trigger off the weapon. So you guys decided to take the weapon and leave, and you came across another man. He was stopping you from exiting. His name was shoot.
Kali, right?
What's that?
Kali? Something like that?
Let's see here. I'm sorry. Yeah, Akali Upkar Singh, um, a blue turbaned Sikh who you guys kind of got to an impasse with because he said he did not that he was to protect the weapon and make sure it never left this place. So you guys were in the midst of that discussion trying to figure out how you wanted to handle this because he's adamant that the weapon can't leave here. It's his job to make sure it doesn't leave. Of course, you were pointing out that to him that the Germans, of course, know where it is now. And it's only a matter of time before they try to come back to reclaim it. So you're trying to figure that out. You also were trying to understand how these Germans and these brides of Durga got the drop on you, and he had led you guys out back into the vestibule room, room A, which was empty when you passed through it, and now as you come back has this machine in it. It's a very like I said, it was something that it was what 6 feet long, 6 feet tall. It looked like something out of that Frankenstein movie, and it had all sorts of dials and cylinders and stuff full of the blue crystal. So you guys aren't necessarily sure what that machine is, but it's obviously something that the Nachtwolf were using.
Wasn't it in the notes that Kyle provided there were Germans were in there, like they were in the machine, like it's a teleportation?
They had been hiding in there.
Yeah, I think you guys had enough information. I'm trying to recall, but I think you had enough information to know that the machine itself was hiding them.
But
Right.
it's real small, right?
The machine,
I mean-
no, the machine's big.
Well, you said 6 feet by 6 feet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, small to hold like a squad of Germans.
Like
Oh
a little-
no, it however it was working exactly, it was hiding them. They weren't necessarily hiding in the machine, but it was doing something to hide them.
Oh. 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 Is it making noise?
Yeah, I'm sure it grumbles and zaps here or there.
And you said there's blue crystals, or are they lit up?
Oh yeah, it's just like the blue crystal you guys have seen elsewhere, the Blauer Kristall, as the Nachtwolf calls it.
And this guy that told us about it, he's still standing here?
Yeah, because that's where you guys are kind of trying to figure out how you want to handle this, because he says the weapon can't leave here. It's his job to protect it and make sure it doesn't leave. So you're trying to determine what the next step is.
This is the guy that saw Khan in the past or something? Or,
No, that
No.
was No, that was you, Saul Khan, in the past.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
No, well, so it's not necessarily true. So, like, Akali knows who Singh is, and
That's
there was
true.
a change about like, oh, you know who I am, and they're like, yeah, we're awaiting you.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true. That is correct.
But this guy, we know his name or who he is, or is this still kind of?
Yeah, we know this. Well, he's introduced himself.
Right.
We
So
know
where-
there's alliance.
Where we left it off was
Okay, sorry.
everyone in the group does not want to give this guy the artifact because, clearly he was unable to protect it from this troop of Germans. So there's skepticism there, but not handing it to this guy would make extra work for Marty.
Oh,
So we were like, oh, let's come up with a plan and tell Marty so he has time to prepare. And then we never told him.
That's true.
okay. All right. So right now, there's no immediate danger to us, right?
No.
There's just the threat of some hidden German. Are they Nachtwolf? Or?
Well, no, you took them all out.
So
oh,
we were
so
on
the
a
machine was hiding the guys that we took out.
Correct.
Right.
Oh, there isn't a threat now. I read it as there being like there's some more that we have to take care of.
No. What happened was we turned around and they were all there. It was like, where'd they come from?
I see. I get it.
What they did was they zapped in on the machine behind us and then snuck in and got behind us.
I see.
Now, they don't have that option. In fact, I don't think they have any options.
No.
Okay, let me take a look. My stress is at 3. That's correct, right? I wonder if I can do anything with this.
So there was considerable debate over whether we give the thing to this guy or we try to destroy the artifact. But why wouldn't we destroy the artifact? There's this recursive time thing going on of like, why would Khan hide this artifact instead of destroying it?
Khan doesn't know.
Well, no, because it's Khan in the past, which is Khan's future. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, what does he say about it now?
Well, Khan's of the opinion that this can't be trusted here anymore. Like, it's weird because future self would know this, so why would future self hide it here? If future self knows it's going to be compromised here. And if it's too dangerous, like this is the philosophical impasse. If it's too dangerous to be allowed to exist, then why not just definitively remove it from the game, so to speak, by destroying it? Like, make sure it can't be captured.
So I had the AI scrawl all 100 pages of our log. And as it turns out, these artifacts are indestructible, I believe, or it's implied that they're indestructible.
It is implied that they're indestructible, yeah.
Yeah.
But not
So-
unbreakable, obviously, because Khan didn't
Right.
break it.
Well, it just seems like there would be other ways of, I mean, if you had everywhere in the world to choose from, why not just toss it in a volcano
Or Marianas Trench.
or something of that nature?
What if we need this artifact to stop Sarthasis? What if that is the end goal here?
What's also interesting to me, Kyle,
Yeah.
is that means the AI also is missing what you guys are missing.
Yeah, but
No.
it's only going off my notes, so it's possible that I overlooked
That
something.
you missed it in the notes.
Yeah.
That's true. AI only knows what it's been told.
Yeah, well, it's worse than that. AI doesn't actually know anything. But
That's true.
don't,
It's
I'm not
also
gonna get
true.
into
Well,
it.
the point is, I wasn't going to read 100 pages, so I just I was like, okay, point out.
Right.
what
It summarizes, yeah.
Right. So that's the extent of what it was used for. But is there anything our characters would recall, or do you want to give one of the academics a role or something around this, or do you want to play it where it lies?
You know what? Let me consider that a moment.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you guys can continue your discussion if you like.
Well, I'm trying to think. So the sort of meta of the conversation too was, do we disobey Section M by not bringing the artifacts back to Britain?
Yeah.
This was
all right.
actually the turning point that we wanted to stop on and have a group discussion about.
Right.
Because more than destroying the artifact, it was a question of, if this thing is too dangerous to exist, is it too dangerous for any government to own? Like, we're at this impasse where we don't know what to do with it. Should we be like,
okay, yeah. And let's do this. So I in terms of what Kyle you just asked, because your characters do have these clues, I know you have these clues. Yeah, I'll let one of the academics, as you put it, so that'd be Connor Pilecki, make a roll to see if they put it together. It's definitely going to be a reason with reason with probably academia. Unless someone can come up with a valid reason as to why it should be something else. I'm leaning reason, academia, probably just with a history focus because I'm not sure what else to use. But unless someone can come up with a valid reason as to why we should make the role something else, I'm listening.
I mean, we're pretty strong in that. I mean, I've got an 11 and a 2, focus in occultism, which doesn't help. But
yep,
11
you're
and 2,
1
that's
point
13.
higher than me, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a 12.
Yeah, so I have 13.
So I would make this difficulty 2 because you're piecing together a bunch of clues from a couple different spots, if that makes sense.
If Walter makes the roll, can I assist him, or is that too weird?
I'm going to say no because I'm making this an aha moment, if
Gotcha.
that makes sense.
Of course.
All right. All right. So let me go for it, and hopefully the dice
Let me
gods are with
see.
me.
Give me 1 second. Let me see what the
Can we use momentum or anything?
Yeah, that's what I was checking.
What about fortune? Because it might just be important enough.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 3 fortune points. I can burn one for more momentum, can't I?
I'd use mine, but I got one.
I have you can well you can burn a fortune point to turn one of your dice into an automatic one, which would give you 2 successes by definition.
Right.
Wait, I can turn it into a 1, and that just the 1 die gives you 2 successes?
Right. It turns one of your dice into a 1, which automatically gives you 2 successes, and then you just roll the 1 extra die.
Okay. I think we should do that. This is pivotal, right? So I've got 3 fortunes. So.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
Maybe
I-
we're just maybe we're just dense and we're not paying attention, or maybe it's
That's
also
me.
we're
Yeah, well,
but also we're hampered by all the downtime in between and how long ago we collected some of these clues.
yeah.
That's not untrue.
Was it session 9 of 41 or?
Is it really 41? Jesus.
yeah, today's 41.
Wow.
That's a little bit mind-boggling.
So
All right,
okay.
so I'm all for it, especially since it's your fortune point.
Yeah, and I got 3 of them.
Especially
Right.
since it's your fortune point.
Yeah, right. So reducing
Awesome.
1 fortune.
Oh, that was a joke. Henry's got no problem burning his
Henry.
fortune points.
Henry's creeping into the real world again.
Yeah.
I still rolled 2 dice.
No, you only roll 1 because the 1 die is an automatic
Unless I
one.
want to buy some with momentum.
The difficulty's 2, so you only need 2 successes.
Oh,
Right,
so
and
using
you get 2
fortune points only
successes
gets
with the
you there.
fortune point.
Yeah, no matter what.
Oh, okay.
We're just looking for no complication.
That's right.
No whammies.
Difficulty 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
No complications, at least. So
That's okay. So you
we still succeed, right?
well, you still succeed. And yeah, so you're fine. All right. So Pilecki, the conundrum, you've heard from multiple sources, including Searing Lama, who, based on the book that Searing Lama wrote out for you, with the letters that were put in the back of the book, because he translated the Book of the Machine for you all, right? And he also wrote 2 letters in the back of the book that indicates that Searing Lama is actually Khan Amir Singh, that at some point in your future, Singh will go back in time. But neither here nor there. From multiple sources, you have heard that the machine cannot be reunited again. That if all 5 pieces of the machine come together and are assembled, that it will bring great power and greatness to whoever puts it together. But in the end, it will also draw cataclysm and will further bring Sarthithus, the mad god, into the world, which cannot be allowed to happen. So the machine cannot be put back together. So first off, the weapon, the flame Agnea, is broken and is non-functional because it's broken. So it's possible that solves the problem of the machine being put together, but you can't be sure about that. However, this is your aha moment. Okay.
Wow.
It comes from the second letter that Searing Lama wrote in the book from Khan, that signed Khan Amir Singh. And in that letter, where is it? I just had it and then I closed the window. Now I gotta find it again. I suck. I'm sorry. In that letter, he talks about how he went back. Here we go. He says that he ensured, the direct quote, I ensured that it would never be rebuilt. I scattered the pieces around the world, and Liesel Mauer's faulty understanding of the mirror caused its destruction. And one of the pieces of the machine is called Mitawa Idzamna's mirror, and you believe that's in British Honduras. So it's a little vague, but the indication is that Liesel Moore used the mirror to somehow create this portal to the past that Khan pursued her through, but in so doing, she destroyed the mirror.
Oh, wow.
So that no matter what happens, at some point in the future, one of the 5 pieces of the machine is going to be destroyed completely.
Okay. Wow. All right, we would not have caught up on that.
No.
Well, it was right there in black and white.
Yes.
But
well,
I hit it. I hit it within the narrative in plain view, so it was subtle.
I see that now. My excuse is my character's dumb.
There you go.
I don't know what the rest of you say.
Khan's player is dumb.
That's right.
So it's the same thing.
Yeah, so is Bilecki's.
Okay.
We can assure this guy that we can't tell him how we know, but we know that the machine will never be put together. That it's safe for us to take this.
Or safe for us to give it to him.
And it's also safe to give it to him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what we do with it. Essentially, at this point, he just tosses it.
From that perspective.
Well, we could give it to anybody. I mean, we could give it to Section M, and it won't be a problem.
Right. And Henry's issue. Henry very strongly is about fulfilling our mission with Section M, and he wants to give it to Section M.
Well, hold on a second here. I mean, is this time thing immutable? In other words, we know that there's no free will and that we're just on a railroad to do whatever we do in the future, so that it ends up in the past the way it was.
I think that would be a question of personal opinion of each character. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, I think Khan is absolutely certain that his future is predetermined. But I don't want to speak for Khan. That's for you.
You would
Then
be
we can
correct.
do whatever Khan wants to do, and it's going to turn out the way we want it, right?
Khan understands that no matter what we do, this will turn out the way it will turn out. But we are in the game, so we might as well do the best we can. But it doesn't matter. It will happen.
That's what Khan thinks.
Yeah, that's what Khan thinks. No matter what we do, if we take this mirror, we throw it in a volcano, somehow it'll be disgorged, and somebody will find it laying in a farmer's field, and they'll turn it into the police, who will turn it into the AG, who will be detected by Section M, and somebody will come and pick it up. Like, it'll find its way back, like the One Ring kind of thing.
All right, so technically, who remind me, who rolled the dice? Was it Walter?
Yeah.
Walter is the one who's come to this aha moment.
Correct.
It's up to Walter whether he discusses the aha moment with us or not. We're having this nice discussion, but our characers
It's
didn't
purely
have
out
the
of game.
aha moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of game.
Yeah, right. It is, and of course, I'll share it. I'm just so we've got a point in the past that will assume we have a point in the past that will not change, and we have a point in the future that will assure that the past point in time will not change. So we got those 2 points in time but there's a whole lot of time
What
in
the
between.
doctor would call a fixed point.
Right. But there's a whole lot of time in between those 2 points where lots of awfulness could happen, and those two things could still happen.
And in all fairness, in the letter, Khan does not say how far in the future this happens. You know, how far in your future it happens. So
Right.
it,
Just
it
that he
could
was alive.
right, exactly. It could be 3 weeks from now. It could be 3 years. You don't know.
Right. And there could be a lot of things that happen between them. And so here's the other thing. I mean, is it clear that the so it's only a portion of the weapon that was sent back to the past, correct?
No. So the and to clarify, the machine is 5 different pieces, and one of those pieces is called the weapon or Agnea weapon of flame, and
Oh,
that
Correct.
and that is the piece that you found in this temple.
Right.
And also, you know that that Khan broke the trigger off of the weapon, in the past. But so and you guys, so the machine is 5 pieces, of which you guys have found and turned in 2, and you've now found this third piece. The 2 that are remaining are the Cup of Yima, which
Yep.
you briefly know is somewhere in Persia because you haven't really looked into it that hard, and then um, Atawi. God, if I'm saying that right, the mirror, which
Santa's mirror
yeah, which you believe is
is
in British Honduras.
what about the
right.
trigger? Broke that off, and where's the trigger?
You have no idea.
We have no idea where that is.
So it can't be used without the trigger anyway, right?
Correct. Well, theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically.
Well, so supposedly, right? We don't know for sure if it can be used. Because you got the entire machine, and you only have one portion that's a weapon. So what's the rest of the machine for?
Are we having this discussion like aloud? Do you think?
I'm probably sending my thoughts into your brain right now. No, I don't have that ability yet. I don't think.
Well, I think just from a character standpoint, I think Slim at some point loses the thread here. I mean, you guys are talking about all these,
Well, we could be.
fate and time.
Yeah, I see your point. It's like, okay, I guess we just have to make a decision.
Well, no. I think these are all valid decisions. I'm just saying. I think if you're having this conversation out loud, Slim
Yeah.
is,
Sure.
losing the thread.
I don't. Yeah, and it probably isn't very fair if we're not having it out loud, or at least standing off to the side, so that whoever this other guy is isn't here.
Well, Henry's a clever fellow, but he's not necessarily a book smart fellow. He never took to, school wasn't his thing. But Henry's not sure if Section M has other groups looking for these pieces. But he feels like he's in agreement that the machine should never be put back together. He's encouraged by this idea that Walter points out, that the letter says the mirror will be destroyed, and without it, you can't put the machine together. He's encouraged by that, but he still thinks this whole it's just weird. This whole time loop thing is weird. But he does know that we can still withhold a piece at the end. We still have 2 more pieces to find. And now is not the time to withhold something from Section M and give the appearance that we've gone rogue.
Do you say this aloud?
Yes.
Okay. Has Khan said anything indicating his preference one way or the other, Sharif?
I think he doesn't have one necessarily.
Okay.
All roads lead to Rome.
So Slim overhears this, and he sets down his machine gun on the temple floor, and he wrings his hands a little bit and walks up to Akali, and he says, "You sure do want this piece, eh?"
He looks at you and he says, it's my purpose in life to protect it."
All right, I can respect that. You willing to die for it?
Says, I would die for my cause. Would you not die for yours?
Depends.
Well, you know, I
He had
always
a chance to
say
do that earlier, but
there is a big difference between an ox and a whiffle tree, if you get my meaning. And,
I think he
No.
tilts his head and squints at you.
and he shrugs and he says, "Well, listen, friend, I'm amenable to compromise here, but I do take a liking to cracking skulls too. Um, I don't know, you want a Rochambeau?"
He has no idea what you mean. The stare the stare in his eyes is making it very clear.
A game of chance, sir. You play poker?
He looks aghast. You mean gamble?
Well, I'm just trying to find a non-violent means of compromise here, friend. I, I guess what I'm saying is I don't want to lay you out.
His left side of his mouth kind of twitches upward slightly for just a moment, and he says, I have no wish to commit violence against you either. However, I would invite you to try.
All right, now, boys. He turns around. He's like,
Did this guy see what we just did to all the Germans?
it's clear this
the
gentleman.
Germans that he hid from, I just want to stress.
Hey, now, be nice.
So, Slim turns his back on him and he says, "Boys, it's clear this gentleman is not going to see things our way. You want I should, He shrugs and smirks.
I think Khan will put his hand on Slim's shoulder and say, I do not believe there is a call for this, Valentine.
Well,
If he wishes to defend it, I think we're safe enough leaving it with him. It really won't matter.
That is not our mission. Our mission is clear.
so
My mission is clear.
Sing.
Well, all I have to say to that is you know me, Henry. You know that I share your mission. And if something has arisen in the future to force me into this course of action, I know the only way that could happen is if I had a reason, a very good reason for leaving it with this man. I've served the British military all my life.
I have deeper considerations than what countries may want.
Well, perhaps it's time for you to share those with us, my friend. Sorry, there's puppy training going on in the other room. You guys might be hearing.
It sounds like it.
That's awesome.
We got my son got a puppy.
What's his name again?
He named him Damien, and here he comes. Hello, little boy. So
You gotta
cute.
stop by sometime.
He's so cute.
So
Hachi is now the time.
That is, we could certainly touch on it. I don't know
Well-
how much I want to go into, but yeah, I can. If, I can.
What about the what if I relay to them the recruitment episode?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's yeah.
Just that part.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I need to pull up my.
Well, I can handle it. I've got it right here.
No, I I've practiced it out in my head, so I think I'd like to, if it's okay with you, I think I'd like to
Knock yourself out.
relay it. All right, guys, we're going to play this out cinematically.
Okay.
But Henry's about to relay to you something that he was supposed to keep secret. So you need to bear with me a bit. But he's going to relay to you an episode that occurred. If we were doing this cinematically, there would be wavy lines and we would cut back to something.
Yeah.
All right. This is January of 39, so that's earlier this year. We're still in 39, right, Hachi?
You're in. I have to go back and check the date, but we're either in November or early December.
That's what I thought. We're all right. So there are three men in a nondescript room with no windows, no phone, and one door. The walls are painted a depressing sepia tone, and there are small, wandering hairline cracks in the plaster. Small, dusty cobwebs have collected in the corners near the ceiling, which also bears multiple old water stains. A single bulb in a center with no shade sheds a meager bit of yellow light that seems to be absorbed by the brown on brown on brown motif of the room. The only furniture is a wooden table and two oak post office chairs. One man is sitting, each wrist handcuffed to an armrest. He has blonde hair and piercing blue eyes that watch like a hawk, taking in every detail. His athletic build, extreme level of fitness, and full head of hair make you think the man is in his 30s, but something about the eyes says older. Two men are standing on the other side of the table watching the subject. They are difficult to describe in any way that could add definition to someone's impression of them. You would have to coin a new word for the melding of nondescript and vanilla. Average height, average build, brown hair, brown eyes, not handsome but not bad looking. They wore off-the-rack dark brown suits and department store shoes. Their white shirts are worn by thousands of mid-level managers and salesmen throughout the country, and their ties have no patterns or designs and are brown, matching the suits. No jewelry, no watches, no tie clasps. It's as if these guys elevated plain looking to a virtue. Upon a closer look, one of the men is holding a manila folder full of papers. This one steps up to the table, opens the folder, and begins to speak. Hello, Mr. Henry Baker of Cincinnati, Ohio. My name is John Smith. You're a difficult man to get in touch with. Born in Cincinnati, went to school here, lives in Cincinnati, we think, but works many places for many people. Details are sketchy. You seem to live in the shadows, a ghost, some would say. Many seem to know who you are, but no one knows anything about you, especially where you are, what you do, with whom you associate. Yes, I said whom. I'm an educated man. You have no known address. You don't live with your parents. You have no friends. Although extremely popular with the girls in high school, good-looking, outgoing, athletic, football star, there's no wife or regular girlfriend that anyone can find. No phone numbers, no driving permit, no tax returns, no library card. For God's sakes, it's a miracle we were able to run into you and insist you come to our small meeting. So I'm going to take this rare opportunity to talk, and you are going to listen. People say they really like my stories, and I've got a few to tell. And by the way, thanks for not making any big fuss when we picked you up. I know you could have made it very difficult for everyone and made a big scene there on the plaza in front of all those people. But that's not really how you operate, is it, Henry? May I call you Henry? From what I can tell, you were high up in George Remus's bootlegging operation here in Cincinnati in the 20s, but there's not a single person that can call back that we can talk to that can back that up. There are no pictures of you together and certainly no documentation of any kind, no receipts, no notes, nothing. Maybe you were the one funneling cash back east to Siegel and Lansky. Those names familiar? Of course, he went to prison and you dodged all that unpleasantness. To your credit, word is, when I say word, I really mean a quiet rumor extracted with some difficulty. He offered to pay you to kill his wife. You obviously said no because he eventually did it himself. Now, there was a big cleanup of Cincinnati proper during the 20s, and except for some speakeasies, the big stuff mostly moved across the river to Covington and Newport. But you seemed to manage. Apparently, the Cleveland boys took over Cincinnati bootlegging after Remus, but you had moved on. You appeared to be busy fixing problems for the gambling joints and brothels in northern Kentucky for a guy named Bauer. Funny thing, till a few years ago, when you seemed to move to another enterprise, none of those joints were ever knocked over. There are no stories of anybody cheating the tables and no hijacked hooch deliveries. Of course, it might simply be that dead men tell no tale. And nobody ever abused the gals that worked for the houses, except one time, right, Henry? Let me see, it's in here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Several years ago, a guy from out east was watching over the Coney Island racetrack here in town. I think it's called River Downs now. Anyway, rumors are that he was one evil SOB that took delight in slowly cutting pieces off the guys he caught skimming, even though he planned to kill them anyway. He especially liked to go across the river for female entertainment right after dealing with some poor bastard. I think it made him hard. Well, one day his favorite girl just disappeared. Wasn't at the club, wasn't in town. Her stuff still in her dirty shack of a place. The guy went back to Jersey. Nobody found her. But not like anybody really looked very hard. But you did, didn't you, Henry? I have no proof, but I know you and what you can do. You found her. What did he do to her, Henry? I know a headstone for Elizabeth Jansky popped up in a graveyard in Covington. That was you too, wasn't it? Well, the funny thing is, this guy was connected to Dutch Schultz, kind of high up, protected by Schultz's crew. Yet he was found by his men in his office one day, just after lunch, dead as a doornail. A knife had been inserted at the base of the skull and thrust into his brain. Very swift, very efficient. Somebody murdered him in his office while his guys were right outside counting the take from the daily numbers. What's really strange is that 2 weeks later, you started hanging out at the track. A handler says he thought you were in charge of security. What a coincidence. By the way, can you tell me your whereabouts during the week of July 24th, 1933? Oh, you're not going to say. Well, that's okay. The Constitution says you have rights, after all. Besides, I'd be surprised if there's a person anywhere that seems to know where you were or might be at any given moment. In fact, I've never found any physical evidence that could be used to corroborate or disprove any statement you might make. No pictures, no news articles in the papers, no hotel registers, no train tickets. No cabbies even recognize your face. I don't mean just for those dates. I mean ever. Hell, people you work for and the people who work for you claim they have never even heard or seen you before. So you've moved up. You're the security guy, the fixer, the guy that protects and serves. But Dutch Schultz gets gunned down in New Jersey a couple years ago. In a whirlwind, the Cleveland Syndicate. I know, there's no such thing. It's all in my dreams. Anyway, the Cleveland Syndicate comes in to take over everything. They take over the booze, they take over the gambling and the whores. Hell, they even renamed the racetrack River Downs. Now these guys in Cleveland, Alfred Polizzi, Mo Dalitz, Sam Tucker, Rothkopf, Kleiman, they shouldn't even know who you are, but they have some respect for you because they don't want to ruffle your feathers. That was a real poser for me. What makes you so special? You're not even a big Cincy boss, just a guy that takes out the garbage for the other guys. So they want to keep you on. All except one guy, another goddamn lieutenant, wants to make a name for himself. I hear a guy named Cecil White comes down from Cleveland and tells you you're done. He and his team are going to take care of security for Cincinnati and northern Kentucky. They're real professionals that know how it should be done, not a bunch of mongrel German gutter trash. You tell him to go back to Cleveland before you call Dalitz to ask him where to dump the garbage. But then he threatens you, doesn't he? What does he say to you that cold January in 36? Not saying? Does it have anything to do with the fact that the nice old white-haired lady living across the street from your parents, Mrs. Schmidt, I think, well, she told me she thought the white lily painted on your parents' front door that January was just lovely. Is it a coincidence that skid marks from an obvious accident led to fishing a car from the Licking River that had 2 dead guys from Cleveland in it? A day before the car was found, a businessman from Cuyahoga County slipped on ice and was killed by a truck in front of the courthouse. His briefcase was smashed flat. How about some guy from Akron got kicked in the head by a thoroughbred in a horse stall at River Downs Racetrack in the winter? But White didn't die of an accident, did he? He ran back to Cleveland to be surrounded by his big, tough buddies, which is a little out of character for a guy that would sick wolves on his own mother if he could sell tickets and skim some cream off the bets. Henry, can you tell me where you were the week of February 3rd, 1936? Hmm? Well, it's a familiar story. White was at one of Dallas's casinos watching over the blackjack and craps tables the night of February 6th. White took a phone call in the adjoining office. His guys found him there, dead but still warm. Knife inserted at the base of the skull and up into the brain. And guess what? The phone was off the hook, and Dallas was on the line, yelling White's name. And then there's this old guy, William Cook, who died the same way in Pittsburgh in the bathroom of his local 5 and dime store. I don't even understand the tie to that one. Seemed like an old guy living quietly with his kid and grandkids. Went out to buy some toys for the grands and never came back. Henry, can you offer an explanation of how at least 2 guys, maybe 3, that came into contact with you were killed at different places using the exact same technique? Oh, and about that, I left off one little detail that links these, besides you, of course. But this one has me flummoxed. The knife to the brain move is classic silent kill technique taught in many places. Quick, silent, efficient, and much less messy than, say, slitting somebody's throat, all that blood, spray, and spatter, ugh. Except in each case, investigators found the eyelids removed from each victim, giving them a perpetual death stare. Might be a Nordic mythos thing. Regardless, it makes my skin crawl. So what do you say, Mr. Baker? But before you answer, let's remember that each was killed in busy buildings with people all around, sometimes completely surrounded by security or bodyguards on site, but nobody saw anyone come or go. One minute they were alive, and then they were dead, mutilated in their offices with all their muscle around them. Like some kind of goddamn ghost floated in and killed them. And about the locations, seems to me that these guys would be more vulnerable in their homes instead of their places of business. It's almost as if the killer didn't want their wives and children to see the death stares of those lidless eyes. A killer with a conscience? Only in America. Of course, we are the great melting pot. Now, I'll tell you another story. Just bear with me. I'm weaving a complex tapestry with rich textures as I add each new layer to the narrative. In the last days of the Great War, the Allies began the big offensive against the Hindenburg Line near Amiens and made some significant headway against 6 undermanned divisions of the German Second Army. But the Germans bucked up and were fighting hard after the initial surprise. Losses on both sides were escalating. However, all of a sudden, a section of the German line there suddenly collapsed and the breakthrough was on. Many say the soldiers were just too tired of fighting and dying, that they'd had enough, that the rested Brit and Australian troops were just too much. Others say the Allies were clever to advance with overwhelming force near Amiens, a relatively weak spot in the line. Add that total surprise was achieved. The massing together of a large number of Mark V tanks was the clincher. Lots of experts, lots of opinions. What we find interesting is that after reviewing German Army files and intelligence after the war, we found out that the collapsing German division had a crisis of leadership and was suffering from overwhelmingly bad morale. When we say crisis of leadership, I don't mean that officers had lost their nerve in the face of the enemy or were no longer committed to Deutschland ideals, or even that they suspected the Kaiser was on his way out. I mean that over a 4 to 6 week period before the offensive, more than a dozen officers of captain rank or higher in several battalions were found dead by their aides in their quarters before morning reveille. Reports were the same. The officers retired the evening before, and in the morning they were found dead, obviously murdered. Even as the number of deaths grew and security was increased, nobody saw or heard anything, and the killings continued. Rumors spread of an invisible man or a phantom or a ghost or some shit moving unseen through the trenches and camps at night. It had the men and the now short-lived short-handed officer corps, scared shitless. And here's an interesting bit. Each was dispatched with a knife at the base of the skull into the brain, and each officer had their eyelids removed, except for one guy. That one was a curious anomaly to me. One captain was found with his hands and feet bound and a gas mask on his head, but the killer had jury-rigged a poison gas canister in place of the filter. Killer didn't have to remove the eyelids in that case. When they removed the mask, he didn't have any eyes left in the sockets. Most of the face was eaten away by the concentrated caustic poison. No fast death for that guy. Maybe it wasn't the same killer. Anyway, time for some cream for the coffee. Something I find just riveting. These German army records also list a young corporal by the name of Heinrich Becker in a company in the Second Army. Now, I'm no linguistics expert, but doesn't Heinrich Becker in German translate to Henry Baker in English? Funny thing is, there's no record of Heinrich Becker as a POW and no record of his discharge from the Army at the end of the war. He seemed to have just up and vanished, sort of like a ghost. Oh, and Henry, although of service age at the time, there's no record of you serving your country in the U.S. Army during the war. In fact, there are no records of you in Cincinnati during the war. For some reason, Mr. Football Hero of Walnut Hills High School doesn't appear in the class of 15 yearbook. Aren't all these unrelated coincidences terribly compelling? Look at my arms. I literally have goosebumps. And the hackles on the back of my neck are standing straight up. Henry, as you can see, we have spent significant time and money piecing together the details of your life for a while now, because you are quite an enigma. And I am a big old sucker for a good mystery. You
I'm
operate
here,
on the
but
wrong...
hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Marty VP. We lost Kyle and Sharif for some reason. I saw them.
Oh, what
drop
happened?
out. Oh, there's one of them.
I'm still here.
That's so weird. Kyle,
Can you guys hear me?
I can
hear
hear you now.
I'm here. I've been here the whole time.
Oh,
I've
really?
heard everything.
Because
Yeah.
your portrait dropped out and
Yeah,
Kyle's
same
dropped
with
out
Kyle.
before.
Kyle?
I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, it's all the fucking.
I don't hear Kyle.
No, Kyle's been gone for a minute. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Back?
Yeah, I'm here.
You been here
Okay.
the whole time?
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, it's
That's
just
odd.
weird.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going. This is fucking awesome.
All right. So, I'm a big old sucker for good mystery. You operate on the wrong side of the law, funneling money from people with too much cash to some really bad characters who can't seem to get enough of it. You run an operation with many employees and associates, completely undercover and unseen. In fact, we have spent years and lost several men finding out what we know about you. What I find interesting is that nobody in Cincinnati, citizens, associates, competition, speaks about you at all. Almost nobody talks, not even a little. And nobody, but nobody wants to ever be on your bad side. The way we hear it, all you have to do is let someone know you want to meet for a little talk, and suddenly the conflict goes away. The money's paid, the goods are returned, your guys are let loose, whole gangs leave town. You manage to keep the machine running and the money flowing while protecting everybody at the same time. The patrons, the whores, the club workers, your guys, even your bosses. But don't you ever believe the opinions of the lowlives in this city make me think you're an upstanding guy wielding justice in accordance with some set of lofty principles. You and I both know you are cold and calculating with no qualms about killing. I've had just about enough of your story, Mr. Baker. So let's change the topic for a moment, as the air's getting a bit heavy in here. After I learned about the unfortunate incident regarding the whole White Lily thing, I took a look at your parents. Henry, I hear your father's a pretty good doctor. He and your mother immigrated to the U.S. in 1895 before you were born. They came to Cincinnati. Your father took care of the growing German population here, helped out a lot of people who didn't speak English, and worked on the barter system for those that were less off. Well, good for him. He sounds like a good guy. Except for one thing. You know, he had a little trouble about 10 years ago. Do you remember? Don't look at me like that. You don't know. You know. It turns out someone very close to him explained that the Volstead Act allowed people to purchase alcoholic beverages or products for medicinal purposes. They must have pointed out that there was good money in writing people prescriptions for whiskey. Now, I wonder who clued him in. He made a tidy sum, and he was a good boy and gave an honorarium to his neighborhood boss. He even used most of the money to help poor instead of owning a nice house near Hyde or Eden Parks for your mom. Kept his head down, and the feds ignored him for years. Of course, Henry, you and I both know your father never bribed anyone to leave him alone. Money or threats or whatever just made their way to federal agents by magic or on the backs of doves or something. But he was caught. He eventually ran up against a federal agent that couldn't be bribed to turn the other way. By some miracle, the agent didn't disappear. Father was cited, convicted, and fined several times before he gave up the fake prescription business. Luckily, no jail time, but he almost lost his license to practice. Of course, this is all water under the bridge now. Your pappy paid his dues, and the Volstead Act is history, gone, repealed, as you know, of course. Can't prove you intimidated, coerced, or bribed anybody or not do anything. So I even mention a victimless crime buried in piles of thousands of similar victimless crimes. Does it really matter to anyone? But the thing is, the US government has responsibility to its citizens to deport undesirables from the country. You understand, you do understand, right? To keep everyone safe and secure, to maintain a common set of beliefs and values that prop up everything we call American. And unlike you, who were born here, your father's not a US citizen. He never got around to it. I guess he was really busy saving the poor and downtrodden in Cincinnati. Some folks in the government believe there is no greater proof of an undesirable that needs to be deported to their country of origin than a known multiple violator of federal law. And the government is just full of faceless bureaucrats ready to jump at the chance to earn brownie points and move up the ladder. It would be a real shame if your father and mother were deported back to Germany for something that seems just so small by today's standards. And what could you do to stop it? You can't take on the US government. Too big, too powerful, too many resources. They always win eventually. Yes, deportation of your parents would be terribly unfortunate, especially with everything gone over there with Hitler and the Nazis and all. Life is getting very hard for people there that aren't considered German enough. The Nazis will surely take a close look at a pair that chose to leave the country years ago, and they'll dig into every detail. Henry, am I wrong, or is your great-grandmother's maiden name Fleischman? Well, Mr. Henry Baker, you're a good sport for coming along without any fuss. Thanks for being a good listener. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. John Smith. He's with a special group with the U.S. government. He has a proposition for you. Oh, so I guess you're not done with listening part. Sorry, didn't mean to get your hopes up. Your turn, John. Well, Mr. Baker, I will be straight with you. You know very well we don't have any hard evidence linking you to anything nefarious, nothing that would stand up in a court of law. However, I hope we have made it clear that we know what you do, what you have done, what you are capable of. Frankly, I'm sure you wonder how we know some details we know. And I will admit, some of our methods are considered extraordinary, but details are divulged only on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Your country by birth needs you. Terrible storm is coming, and it is important to the citizens of the United States of America and our allies that you utilize your special skills to keep us safe from the evil that is coming. Here's the deal. I will get the paperwork processed and a judge to administer the oath to make both your parents U.S. citizens tonight. I will have the federal complaints, convictions, and fines expunged from all records like they never existed. We'll even refund the fines that your father paid. You will enlist in the U.S. Army tonight for a term of 4 years. Based on your considerable experience, you'll be given the rank of sergeant and will be immediately attached to a special unit that we may or may not name. You will faithfully fulfill your term of service, performing any duty we require, no matter how strange or how bizarre it may seem. Furthermore, we expect you to corral your lone wolf ghost tendencies to work as part of a team of seasoned professionals sharing the same goals. Protect your country, protect your allies, protect mankind from evil. I cannot tell you what your missions might be or where you will be sent to accomplish them. I can tell you it will be dangerous and you could die or worse. You can never tell another soul about this activity. Where you go, who you meet, what you do, what you see must go with you to your grave. Okay, now you can talk. Deal.
Wow.
Man, that's really impressive, dude.
That
Did
is,
you,
that is truly awesome.
according to Marty's reactions, you just wrote all this yourself, huh?
I
Nice
did.
job.
Historically accurate.
That is fucking breathtaking. So this scene plays out for us, and
Yeah, so Henry, well, like I said, Henry tells you all these things that happened in that scene, but cinematically, you got to see and hear and everything. So what Henry's just relayed to you is his concern is he made a deal for the safeguard of his parents that he would follow orders and do what he's supposed to do, that what he's told, regardless of how weird that shit seems.
I have to imagine there's something of a pause here as everyone like takes this in, and Slim takes his hip flask out, sort of like loudly undoing the screw, and he takes a swig, and he laughs, and he gives Baker like this I don't know, this look of like deep empathy, but he seems amused in some way, and then he turns to Akali, and he says, "Well, you see, friend, you don't have to worry about me. You see, Baker here, he's a real revolving son of a bitch. He's so low he has to look up to see hell. You ain't walking out of here with that piece, friend." And he takes another swig and looks back at the group, and he looks at Singh. It's a hell of a case.
So
Indeed.
Henry looks at you guys and he says clearly that if we go against orders and we don't return this piece to Section M, and we basically have to put together a lie that says we came, we saw, we fought, we didn't find it. But it has to be ironclad, tight. If somehow this thing shows up somewhere and it's discovered, and there's some risk that we are considered to have purposely not followed orders, that's a scenario I can't live with. And unfortunately, my parents may not live with.
Well, I think that settles it. And he nods to Baker. And he looks at Akali and he shrugs and he says, I don't know. What is it they say? Choose your weapon?
Henry steps over to Kali and he looks into his eyes and he makes sure he's looking into Baker's eyes. And I expect what Akali sees staring into Baker's eyes is the angel of death itself.
All right,
And
Baker. Go ahead.
and-
Go ahead.
And Baker looks right at Akali and says, "Do you understand my view on this point?"
All right, sir.
Do I see it? Yeah, I hear it. I knew there was a roll coming.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Make a will persuasion roll with intimidation if you have it.
No, I have deceive, and this is not really deceive. So we'll do will persuasion roll. Difficulty?
I'm going to tell you. 1.
Oh, all right. So let me look at the rules on fortune points.
You do have 1 momentum.
Does that do me any? What does that do me? 1 momentum.
You can buy 1 die.
I can buy 1 die.
Yeah.
And a fortune point will let me re-roll any number of dice in the dice pool.
Yeah, after the fact, yeah.
Right. So I'm going to save it. I'm going to give it a roll. So I'll use the momentum for the extra die.
All right.
I don't know. Cinematically, this has got to work.
I cannot tell you how much I want to spin up a immolation spell and roast this guy if this doesn't go well.
He's not a bad guy.
I know,
Yeah,
but still, that's just...
All right, so I get 3 dice because I bought 1 with our momentum. Relevant skill is persuasion. Focus does not apply, and the difficulty is 1.
Yeah, no problem.
Wow.
Oh,
No problem.
Nice.
It generated a point of momentum. He breaks your stare for a minute, kind of looks down. When he looks back up at you, he says, "Can you promise me that the weapon will be protected and the machine will never be assembled?"
I will promise that this illustrious team, of which you have seen we are formidable, will protect this. We will ensure the machine is never again rebuilt. Or we will all go to our deaths protecting this secret.
He locks his eyes with you for a moment, and then he looks at each member of the team in turn, finishing with Sing. And he nods towards Sing for a moment, and he says, "I believe you are on the side of what is right. You are on the side of protecting this world from evil, or at least madness. I accept your word on this."
You've spoken with great honor. I don't know what to say to this guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to roast him 5 minutes ago.
Henry offers him his hand. To shake hands with the guy.
Oh yeah, he takes it.
Henry clasps his other hand over his and says, "Your trust is not misplaced. I assure you. You are a good man."
I don't, by the way, real quick, as a side note, I don't know if that calling him a good man carries more weight or less weight coming from a guy that we know has done some really rough things.
Henry doesn't give out compliments lightly.
That's probably true. I'm sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think, Slim lets out a breath that he was holding, and he looks back at Pilecki, and he says, "God damn, I thought he was going to tear out the man's eyes." Takes another drink. All right, well, that's settled.
Well, and Henry looks at you guys and says, "Of course, gentlemen, nothing says we have to run off back to England and give them the peace right away.
Well,
we can take our time."
He says, "Really? There's no hurry to Honduras?"
Well, we still have Persia to check out. Seems closer than Honduras, I think.
Persia. Is that where they make the rugs?
That is correct, Slim.
Well, there's Slim. There's some fancy cup there we got to find. Maybe you can drink some beer out of it or something.
I'll drink to that. And he loosens up a little bit and picks up his gear, puts away his flask, and he says, all right, well, I don't know. This guy looks all right in a fight. You want to come with us, and I'll fly you there myself. Kill some Nazis.
He nods and he says, "No problem." He says, "Thank you for the offer, but this is not the only place in my homeland I have to protect."
All right. I respect that. I'm sure glad we didn't have to kill you, friend. He slaps him on the shoulder. It's nice meeting you and all.
He says, "I'm glad you didn't have to as well." All right, gentlemen. What's the plan?
Wow. All right. I am so just like stepping back from character for a second. That was really a thrilling montage there. Marty VP, can you send that to me? Can you email that?
Yeah, what I'm doing right now is converting the file to a PDF.
Awesome. Because I would love to put that in the log here.
And also it'll be called Henry's Recruitment, and Hachi can upload it onto the site too.
Cool. That's awesome. That was really not only a wonderful piece of writing that I don't know was really immersive and thrilling, but your delivery was excellent. Very cool moment to reveal this. And I think what's interesting about this is like Slim thought he was a bad dude, but now he feels like so much better about himself. All he did was rob a bank and drive a car, right? And he was worried about, his moral character. But he's like walking with a renewed confidence.
Well, as a general rule, if you're worried about your own moral character, you probably don't need to worry about your moral character.
I guess that's fair.
I'm curious what Henry thinks of his own moral character.
Clearly, Henry has a code that he lives by.
Definitely.
And clearly, he's only ever dispatched bad people.
Sure.
And he's just trying to get by in life. And I'll leave it to you guys to figure out, or maybe over time it might come out, but I'll leave it to you guys to figure out how the war changed him, because as you heard, he was Mr. High School football hero, sports hero, and now he's Mr. Underworld.
Wow. As if Slim didn't idolize you before. I mean, it's just this sort of...
So, to be honest, since we did it like a movie montage, you got to see every little detail and nuance of the discussion in the room.
Mm.
It's unlikely in reality that Henry would have shared every single little detail of that coercion, right? But still, it was more fun going through the whole thing as a cut scene kind of thing.
Absolutely.
All right, so it's still, Henry looks over at the machine and says, "What about that thing?"
Yeah, what exactly is this thing? He kicks it.
Oh, jeez.
like you're kicking tires, you know.
Yeah. No,
Because
it thumps hollowly probably, but other than that, it doesn't do anything.
so Henry is in one way he's like Slim in that he really hadn't seen any magic till started hanging out with this crowd. And so but he's a little more pragmatic about it. He just knows there's weird shit in the world, and he's willing to accept any kind of help we can get. But the idea that a machine just shows up with a bunch of people in it and they run out and attack us is it's a little hard to embrace, right? This technology or magic or whatever it is way beyond any technology that he's familiar with.
Right.
Right? What's the latest technology? Radio and telephone, not even dial telephones. In 1939, I think a lot of it was still picking up the phone and talking to an operator to make a connection to an exchange.
It was. Even by the end of the war, only 10% of people had direct dial numbers, and that was mostly government use.
Yeah, because AT&T and Bell Labs had just come up with the switching machine.
That's right.
And so, this thing just appears and people run out, and here it is. And it what do we do with this thing? Did this thing travel?
I mean,
huge distances? Was it invisible somehow? Couldn't see it, and it appeared, or did it get here? These are all the questions running through Henry's mind. He's trying to decide if someone could use this machine to follow us, if we could use this machine to our advantage, or whether we should just destroy this stupid thing.
Well, what about we bring it back to those top men?
Looks heavy to me. Looks heavy to me. This thing's pretty big, right? It had a whole bunch of people in it, right? Or not?
Well, you don't know. No, not that you're aware of it, but it's 6 foot tall and 6 foot wide and probably 1.5 feet deep.
Oh,
so is it that's
like a bookshelf?
Yeah.
Does it have a door?
It has what you would assume to be access panels, not much different than accessing like a car's engine.
Oh.
And big contact switches and stuff like that, and it buzzes and.
So it's unlike the one was inside it.
Correct.
It's like projecting a field or something.
Who knows? But obviously, yeah. Well, you're getting beyond Henry's ability to comprehend. He just knows that somebody pushed a bunch of buttons through some levers, like in that Frankenstein movie, and a bunch of people show up.
So
that's as far as he can go with his reasoning.
I mean, other than having this thing, I mean, obviously the concealing the Germans, was there any other activity from this, or is that just pretty much only was just sitting there and then we just figured out what it did?
Yeah, I mean, the machine wasn't there when you guys came through this room to enter the temple.
It wasn't?
Yeah, no. Right. And neither were the Germans and the Brides of Durga. And then all of a sudden the Brides of Durga and the Germans just appeared behind you. And then when you guys came back out, there's this machine sitting in this room.
Huh.
And it's the only entrance into the temple. And remember, you've got your Indian grenadiers outside.
Oh, they're still out there.
Yeah.
Well, how's about I pull up the truck and get a couple of them soldiers and lift this thing into the back? Take it with. I'll fly us back to Britain.
Oh God, can you imagine this thing on a plane and then something it does? you know, at the
What was the
I
name
don't
of
know
that
if this
movie?
is I don't
The
know if this is a
Philadelphia
worthy.
Experiment.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this thing is worthy of me getting some injuries or whatever, but no, maybe I should take a harder look at it by putting my hands on it.
What I tell you, gentlemen, classic Pilecki move.
Yeah, yeah, fuck it, let's do that.
They always give me shit for driving your character too hard, but I know you can do the
No,
same thing.
it's like, buying a Ferrari and keeping it in the garage. Why are you going to do that?
That's
Well,
right.
That's what most people do with their Ferraris.
Man, rules.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so let's do that spell. I forget the name of it.
Remote viewing.
Is it remote viewing? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not so remote, so I don't have to.
No, yeah.
I don't have to throw a lot of momentum at it, do I?
Yeah. So so what? It's difficulty 2. Yeah, you don't have to worry about because you're literally going to be touching the thing. So you don't have to spend momentum for the range.
Oh, it says, yeah, right here. So for more momentum, for 3 momentum, the psychic may instead choose an object within reach and gain limited knowledge of that object's past.
Correct. Yeah. So that's kind of the key there.
But there's also the initial effect, I think, is like being able to look in a desk drawer or something else, so I'd be able to see what's inside of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the base.
Yeah, that's what the basic ability of it is. So you only have 1 momentum. So from a mechanical standpoint, if you wanted to see the history of this thing, you would have to gain 2 momentum on your die roll on the spell. So, and it's difficulty 2. So that's
I think it's worth a try.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless it does something catastrophic, but that'll just be fun.
I like it.
All right, so let's see here. To do the spell, I click the die that's in the spell box.
Right.
Remote viewing. And 2 dice, correct?
Correct.
And focus.
Always applies on spells.
Always applies. Difficulty 2. All right, come on, no whammies. Nice.
Yeah, all right. You succeeded, and you generated an extra point of momentum, which gets you to 2, which unfortunately is not enough to learn the history of the thing. But it does allow you to see what's inside the machine, and it is a dizzying array of tubes and wiring, a lot of copper, which is interesting because copper would be in short supply for the Germans even in 1939. Some alloys that you're not familiar with at a glance, some kind of metal. There is definitely some of the inner workings have some of the pink orichalcum that comes from Atlantis or Atlantean artifacts. And there's more of the blue crystal inside, probably the power source for this thing.
Do I have any clarity? I mean, do I have any clarity on like what wiring might go to which of the? I think I heard you say there were switches on the outside.
Yeah, I mean at a brief glance, yeah, I mean you can probably see what goes to what. Now, in terms of what it all does,
Right. But no little like gremlins or anything running around inside.
Oh, no.
So yeah, I describe this to the group and tell them, it's definitely electrical, mechanical, but with sourcing of components that seem foreign and potentially magical.
Well, I've taken a car apart in my day. I got some tools back in the truck. I want me to pull her apart, take a look under the hood.
There's nothing that I noticed that looked like it if it's powered up or not? I mean, are the
Oh,
crystals?
this thing's definitely on. I mean, it's buzzing.
Oh, it is.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, it's got a near constant buzz like that of an electrical transformer. And
That
once in a
was
while, it sparks and stuff like that.
perfect for a plane in the 1930s.
Uh-huh.
Um, do we have? Well, I wonder if we have any local contacts who we can. What if we take this back to the base? And Jabali's not going to like that, or Joshi, whatever. He's not going to like that. But
Well,
Yeah, isn't he supposed to be going someplace?
he is, yeah.
yeah, he's supposed to be taking his unit out to. Oh, I'm sorry, I'd have to look, but to the eastern part of India.
So how are we going to get back anyway? Did we think that through?
I think the thought was you were going to walk it back to the nearby city, the city of Gates, and then
Oh,
arrange
okay.
transportation from there because it's only like 8 or 9 miles.
Yeah, well, I'm not humping this machine on my back.
Oh, it probably weighs a ton.
I mean, it's, if you want to just go by common sense soldiering, this is foreign equipment that needs to be exploited, and you would never leave foreign equipment behind.
Do we see any gauges or markings on the front of this thing?
Sure.
And
What exactly
the
they're measuring, who knows?
I'm assuming there's a lot of numbers on there. Are there any labels in a language we can see?
No.
No. Okay.
Turn dials that spark as you turn them and make the
so
machine
we
hum
can
louder.
mess with it?
If you want to.
I wouldn't do that. Let me stand back while you do that.
The reply the DM loves the most. You can certainly try.
Yeah. Slim? Really mechanically inclined one.
Yeah.
So we'll be outside. Why don't you play with it?
Sure. I mean, I truly believe that he has no reservations about monkeying with this thing.
Probably not.
His mechanic tools are in storage, though. When did we? So they're probably back in the plane, to be honest.
Yeah.
But there's got to be some like wrenches and shit, like in these military trucks, right?
Oh, there's no way. I mean, common sense. There's no way a military convoy of Bedford trucks doesn't have
Right.
tools. I mean, if one of them broke down, they would have to be able to get it up and running. So,
Well,
Did they break down?
of course not. Quality.
So again,
British
if we're
Not every day.
if we're talking about just like basic soldiering common sense, if you can't take it with you, destroy it in place. So this thing didn't do us any favors when we encountered it, and if we can't take it with, then my vote is to try to destroy it.
Somebody used it to launch a secret attack on us.
Right.
And why would we leave it around so someone can use it to do that again?
Right. We either destroy it or take it with.
Besides, it'll give Slim something to blow up.
Well, I am amenable to that, but and he looks around at the temple and he's like, I have something of an appreciation for the hard work it might have taken to build this place. Can we take her outside?
Well, yeah, I suppose you don't. Well, it looks heavy to me. I wouldn't literally have to blow it up. There are access panels. Maybe you could. We could take off an access panel, and you could put something small inside there to take care of it.
And in the risk of frying my brain, I could emulate it from the inside out. I mean, it's copper wiring in there, right?
Yeah.
So that will melt.
Well, shit, let me take a look. And he's like, I'm going to run this out to the truck, get myself some tools. And he hauls his gear out to the truck and like goes and rifles through to get like a, whatever metal toolbox or whatever.
Sure.
And he comes back and he's like rolled up his sleeves and he makes Sing hold the flashlight. And yeah, he's gonna like open up an access panel here and get into this thing. I don't know what he's doing, but
Just looking around,
we're just looking around.
taking a
Yeah.
quick scan of the patient.
Do you want me to roll engineering?
Yeah, reason engineering, electronics focus if you have it.
I've got mechanical engineering focus.
Not quite.
All right.
Good try.
Okay, so before we see the fireworks here, do we take a bio break? So
Sure.
Sure,
Yeah,
why not?
We've got about a half hour or so, so that's fine. All right.
Okay, cool.
all right, we'll be right back. Thanks.
All right, I'm back. I think I'm the only one who's back.
That's a link to the movie I was telling you guys about.
Which one's that? I forgot the conversation.
Oh,
It's actually a trailer for it. It's a science fiction movie on Netflix.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I see it.
That's pretty good. I the trailer is the Japanese soundtrack, but I think I watched it in English. I don't know if they have subs on Netflix or not for this one, but anyway, I thought it was a very novel sci-fi movie.
Oh, cool.
Had a
Yeah,
really
well,
interesting premise that I haven't seen very often or at all.
yeah, very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I love foreign sci-fi and horror.
It's kind of like along the lines of a murder mystery, but it's dripping with sci-fi, so it's cool.
We were talking before I think you joined, we were talking about drones in Ukraine. I wonder if anybody's used them for
I was here
airsoft
for
yet.
that.
Huh?
I was here for that.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering
I'm
if
sure
anybody
people are
started.
videotaping airsoft games and stuff.
No, I'm talking about using it on offense, like somebody strapping a
Oh, I don't know.
gas blowback onto one or something.
Maybe water balloons.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Dropping water balloons.
What?
So, gentlemen, I've got I'm doing I got one D&D session coming up this month, and then we've got episode 50 of my campaign is I'm hosting on January 2nd. So it's kind of we're doing like this holiday party special episode, 50th episode thing.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So,
Krampus?
what's that?
Krampus going to make an appearance?
Krampus. No, there is a Christmas analog in the lore, though, which is kind of fun. But this is, I thought of you guys because, so I'm going to try to do this big lore drop, this reveal, and there's this running gag in the campaign of everyone they encounter is always asking their adventuring group like what the name of the adventuring group is.
Yeah.
And they've never been able to answer. So like one time we were out drunk or whatever and fucking with AI, and they come up with this name, but the name has never explicitly been used in the campaign at all.
Oh,
So I'm going to like drop this name in like a lore drop in like a different way, timed with music. I think I'm going to try to pull this off. But all I could think about was me trying to insert one last mission into every piece of dialogue. I was like, the boys are going to laugh about this.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
So we'll see how it goes. Off the rails, I presume.
I assume it will. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I really hope that my influx professional situation is not going to derail us too much, because I'm really excited for how this campaign has gone and how it's going to climax.
This has been wonderful.
It's really amazing how far these characters have come.
Yeah, it's been a blast. I really love this setting and system. You're doing a great job too, Marty.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Very fulfilling. You know you're in a good RPG game when you think about it when you're not playing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Truth.
All right, we got everybody back, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Did I hear someone's only able to play for another half hour?
Yeah.
We got about 30 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. So Slim hands Sing the flashlight, and he. I don't know what kind of screws they used back in 1938 Germany, but he opens this panel, and he's like sort of like irritably snapping at Sing to like, no, I need the light over here, and he makes his roll here. Let me see. This is not going to be good.
Nice. It's par for course. And complications. I can't wait to see what happens.
Oh boy.
I hate. I don't know if you're going to let me retcon this or not.
Is it? Wait a minute. Is a 9 a failure for you?
So reason
plus
is 7.
engineering?
My engineering is 1. So I'm good at mechanical engineering, but I'm not good at electronics.
But this opening a panel is mechanical, though, right?
Well, I kind of imagine he opens the panel and he is fucking around inside.
Okay.
I think he thinks he's good with this
Everything.
stuff, with everything.
Yeah.
The failure isn't so much opening the panel as figuring out what he's looking at.
Yeah. So, because I am a kind and beneficent GM, I have to give you the opportunity to burn a fortune point to re-roll any dice.
So I have 1 fortune left, but I'm going to be honest. I remember there being deliberation about this, about whether I had 1 remaining, because there was the sash and I wasn't sure. I mean, will this be a lethal incident?
Nobody knows, do they?
Nobody knows. All right. I think it's. I don't know, boys. Do I spend the fortune?
Depends on if you have time to prepare your own GM session next time.
All right. I'll spend my last fortune to re-roll
to
one.
re-roll your 2 dice. All right, very good.
So I just make that roll again.
Just do it. Yeah, just redo it.
All right. Reason engineering.
2 complications.
No. Sweet.
All right. Well, the net effect, I think, to it is at this point, Slim has absolutely no idea what this thing is or how it works or how it's the innards of this thing are a mystery wrapped in an enigma as far as Slim is concerned.
All right.
Though I don't know that he would let anybody else know that.
Well,
That's all that happened?
Yeah, he just from the standpoint, the way I'm looking at it, from the standpoint of actually opening the panel, that's kind of like a difficulty 0 type thing. Really, the role is to see what he can figure out in terms of the inner workings of this thing when he gets it open.
so he plays it off, and he comes back up, hits his head on the panel as he's coming out. God damn. And says, "Well, I don't know much about foreign cars. All sorts of proprietary stuff in there. I mean, you give me something American made, I can take a look at that, but this is beyond me."
Well, if we want to destroy it, now you have the panel open and nothing's happened. At least we can just toss a grenade in it now.
Well, Baker used my grenade.
That's right.
Yeah. Any grenades on the dead Germans?
No.
The way you said that, you made it sound like I had a choice.
Though
I was going to pick it up.
the Indian grenadiers outside, I'm sure, have a grenade somewhere amongst them. A Mills bomb grenade, probably.
But he scratched his head. I'm not too familiar with the Indian grenades. I think they pull from the other side, like I was saying. Somebody else wants to. He nervously shuffles around.
Oh, for crying out loud! Henry storms out of the place, puts his arm around one of the Indian grenadiers. May I have the use of a grenade, please?
Yeah, all right. Difficulty 1, because you're a relatively high-ranking enlisted guy, aren't you? Aren't you?
I'm a sergeant.
Yeah, I know you're a sergeant.
Actually, I've been promoted. I think I'm master sergeant or something.
Yeah, something like that. So, very, very simple.
But I'm not in his army, but still. But then again, am I wearing a uniform? Don't think so.
No.
All right, there's enough of that. Let me.
Willpower, persuasion.
I only have a focus and deceive, so
So
let's
it
just
doesn't matter.
let it
Okay.
go.
Yep. All right. Difficulty 1. Okay, no problem. Um, he looks over at Lieutenant. You're now up to 3 momentum, by the way. He looks over at Lieutenant Joshi. I can't remember what the Indian rank is, but the equivalent of lieutenant. And Lieutenant Joshi nods and says, "Yeah, give the sergeant a grenade." So he pulls off a Mills bomb grenade and hands it to you.
All right, so I storm back into the place, holding the grenade out. Gentlemen, it might be time for you to abscond with the part. And so I've never,
Yeah.
personally, out of game, I've never seen, I don't know what this grenade looks like.
A Mills bomb grenade is it's really not too different from an American grenade, to be honest.
Okay.
It's the circumference is a little bit smaller, and instead of having the pineapple design, it's just smooth. It's spherical.
Oh, I just pulled it up on the internet. Okay.
Now you're on the no-fly list.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, use DuckDuckGo.
That's okay. After all the flying I did in my career, I'm happy not to fly. Okay. Oh, there's a schematic, almost like a patent schematic. That's cool.
I have a story for you guys later, but after the game.
All right. Anyway, it looks like it has a pin, so I'm pulling the pin and I'm throwing it in. I'm throwing it in through the open hatchway,
All right.
and then I'm using my athletic prowess to beat feet.
Yeah, exactly. I think the fuse on this thing is 8 or 10 seconds. So,
Wow.
the well, I think I think the official time is 8 seconds, but
Okay.
in general, it's closer to 6, is what I understand. But you guys exit and take cover. The grenade goes off, and there's a an explode through the open access panel. There's an explosion of components that come fly out. Bits of wiring and just shards of stuff, pieces of metal. The looking back in as the smoke start to clears, the casing of the machine itself contained most of the explosion, and it's surely a wreck inside. The machine itself is still mostly intact, including several large pieces of crystal contained by glass cylinders on the outside of it. But there's no doubt it doesn't function anymore, whatever it used to do.
Oh, the crystal in the glass cylinders. Does that look like? Does it look like that Atlantean
Yeah, it's the glowing blue stuff.
glowing blue stuff?
Well, we can't let this get into civilian hands, right? Maybe we take some of this blue rock with us.
You help yourself.
He looks at Singh.
I don't know.
All right. I mean,
I think everything of this should be, taken back if possible. But if it's not possible, then I don't know.
Yeah, considering it's no longer active, it's probably safer to haul, right?
Though the machine itself, I
Yeah.
think that's safe to assume.
Yeah.
Asking the out of game the physicist here, do radioactive materials glow like this?
There goes Singh's legacy. I've just been irradiated. My balls have been irradiated by flower crystal.
He already has a kid, so he's good.
Yeah,
It's
you
Slim
guys
we got to worry about in case he spoils the bloodline.
certainly don't know enough about the Blauer Crystal to know if it is whether or not it is radioactive. Yeah, I mean, you do know that it is created by the intrusion of the conscience of the mad god Sarthithus into your world, but beyond that, is it radioactive? Who knows?
My vision's
Hey,
real grainy, and I'm pissing blood.
guys, in 1939, it's unlikely that laymen like us would even know much about radiation
That's
That's probably
at
very
all.
true.
valid. That's
Oh,
very
true.
Yeah.
valid.
Not that, you know, not that, like Curie had been working on radium for a long time by 1939. And in fact, I think Otto Hahn and Lise Meitner worked out that they could get uranium to fissions, but we're just we're just average Joes.
No,
We might have heard something about it.
if you guys had a legitimate scientist among you, that would be one
Hey, hey, hey.
thing.
All right.
Yeah, so in that case, I mean, Pilecki will want to gather some of the parts and put them in the bag for further analysis later on.
At least grab the blue crystal. Um,
Yeah.
the blue crystal, weren't some of the items we've already collected, did they have some of the blue crystal in it?
Yes.
That's what I thought. So we'd already handled it. So the deed is done.
Okay.
The damage is done, so to speak. Your DNA, your DNA will never be the same.
Oh man.
So, are you guys going to? I guess to be clear on my end, are you guys going to try and like load up the whole machine in a truck, or are you going to
I'm
just
not.
take
That thing
parts
looks
of it
heavy as
apart?
hell.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's. I think we're just going to try to remove certain parts that might look important.
I got you.
Well, the crystal was in glass cylinders, so we could break the glass and get the crystals out. That's the most interesting part to Henry, although Henry's not touching it.
I mean, we've got the whole like Indian platoon out there, right? Surely, these
True,
guys
true.
should be able to lift this into a truck.
You're going to convince the Indian officer out there to give us one of his trucks?
I don't have to do it.
So the
Why do we?
grenade.
I'm trying to understand why we want this machine after we just blowed it up.
That's
You
fair.
think we would have? I think if we had wanted it, we wouldn't have blown it up. I thought we decided. We thought we decided that if it's difficult to move, so we can't take it with us, we don't want it functioning behind us.
I thought you just didn't want to fly the plane with a active electronic thing.
Something.
All right. Well, so we collect some parts, and then I guess the question is, do we go back to the city of Gates, or do we get?
I'll. By the way, I
Yeah.
am going to have Slim make another roll on that. This one certainly would be mechanical engineering, because you're trying to figure out how to pull this apart. To collect any of the parts that contain the Blauer Crystal, I guess. So, call that definitely call it reason engineering with mechanical.
Okay. That's my role. That's a
Holy mackerel!
That's amazing.
Can I do anything to help that? I've got one fortune point. Can I burn that for?
No,
17.
let's just get out of here.
Yeah.
All right.
Slim cannot figure out how to take this thing apart.
There's a piece somewhere in Persia with our name on it.
That's true.
That's fair. All right.
So that's it then, I suppose. You guys leave the temple, and I guess Lieutenant Joshi,
How many miles is it back to the?
9.
All right, easy hike.
So certain that you no longer need his platoon's assistance, he bids you farewell, and they get the trucks turned around, start heading because they've got quite a ways to go. You, on the other hand, have a mere 9-mile hike, mostly downhill, to the city of Gates, where you'll have to arrange transportation, for a 6 hour drive back to Bombay. And we can certainly hand wave all that. None of that's really game sensitive. Um, so there's a couple of decisions you guys have to make. Of course, by the time you make it back to Bombay, Jonathan has the plane ready to go for the next leg of your journey. The decisions that you gentlemen have to make is where you're going next. It sounds like the general rule is Persia is where you're headed. Now, certainly correct me if you guys think otherwise.
No, it's the closest. Why travel halfway around the world to come back halfway around the world the other way?
Now, we have a serious matter to attend to first.
Right.
So I believe I had requisitioned paint from from the lieutenant.
You did. You did, in
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah. Now, is there time? Are we? How much time are we spending? I guess downtime at the base.
Oh, I mean, certainly could. Certainly could call it a day or something if you guys need to rest a little bit from your ordeal.
Well, we have to do some planning. Persia's an awful big place.
Yeah. That's going to require you guys to. Someone's going to have to do some research to figure out where they need to go.
Okay. So Slim is gunning for a chance to paint some nose art on the plane.
I love it.
And I had this image drawn up.
Oh boy.
Well, it. So let's say, how would one make
God.
a roll for for the artwork, the quality of the artwork on a nose? There is an art focus in academia, but
I feel like that's more of like an art history thing.
yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna say insight, but I'm wondering.
well, I mean, there's also an argument to be made for agility.
That's true.
I mean, painting requires a very steady hand. You can have the perfect image in your head, but if you can't hold your hand still enough to make it happen the right way,
I feel like we should talk to the classically trained artist in the group.
Yeah. Sharif, you there?
Yeah, I'm looking through the various skills. Because it's a skill. It's not coming from like inside of you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like a talent.
Well, no, exactly. It's not like something that you just have or don't have. It's something you can develop and invest skill and points into. So
Correct. And I think your
it seems
natural
like
talent is kind of what limits how far you can progress the skill. At least that's the way I view it in my head.
What about like observation?
Well, from my perspective, there's no such thing as talent. That just doesn't exist. It's an illusion for people that start the journey with a little bit more, they get it a little bit better, but it always comes down to work and practice and skill development.
Mm-hmm.
So like nobody's born a good artist. There's nobody that will ever sit down at a canvas and paint a masterpiece. It's just not going to happen until they've developed themselves to the level. So it's just an illusion talent. It doesn't really exist. So I think probably academia art is probably your best one, even though I know what you're saying. That's probably art history, the way they mean it. But I mean, I don't know.
I think you're right, though. I think the talent, when people have talent, I think they're much more adept at picking up techniques than the rest of us who have no talent.
Well, I think talent is just it's like if you were going to be training for working out, let's say like a physical, like javelin, you're going to throw a javelin. right? And you happen to have like a really, really long arms. So you better at like
You get
leverage
more
naturally.
leverage. Well,
So when you
it's
start, it looks like you have natural talent. People are like, "Oh, this guy just naturally is good at this." Well, he might have an advantage. Perhaps he's just naturally stronger, perhaps he's more coordinated, but there's no way that talent is going to get him to the Olympics.
right, right.
It's
No,
just
no, I understand. I'm just talking about artists in particular because I know several now and I've watched them develop over the years. And they start off with the innate ability to pick up drawing and painting techniques easier than others.
well, what I think that is it's interest. I think they have
Interesting.
more of a natural so maybe they do have natural gifts that lend them to that early like bonus in the beginning, and that gives them more motivation and interest because they see, oh look, I seem to have like this you know, I'm not as bad as some other people at this. So then everybody wants to be good at what they're doing, so they become more motivated. And people see that and say, well, that's talent, but not really.
Hey, careful. I'm perfectly happy being mediocre. Mount Everest is covered with dead people that were once highly motivated.
Well, just look at it this way. Look at book writing to for the point I'm trying to make. It's the same thing. I mean, did you understand narrative structure the first time you sat down when you were like, I don't know, 15 or 20 or whatever to like write something? Probably not.
Oh, hell no.
No, you were just like, I
I'm
like,
not sure I still do.
well, it's hard. So there's like skill and like you have to develop it in practice and you have to fail 10,000 times and you go, okay, I learned this lesson and you build and build and build and build. Where's the talent?
So what I'm hearing is the general consensus is like an agility academia role.
All right, that's an interesting idea because that allows it to combine both ideas.
The physical and the mental.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in. Let's do it.
Unless you you could be persuaded for insight academia. However, I think this is much funnier if Slim makes the worst possible role.
I'm in.
I can't wait to see this.
All right. So I think what happens is while they're on base, like the other gentlemen are like requisitioning stuff and like researching, doing academic research, right? And Slim somehow goads Jonathan into an errand, well, like into Bombay of some kind, thinking that this is going to be like a marvelous surprise. and he is going to attempt to paint an Indian elephant on the side of the plane,
Oh boy.
on the nose, and in script it's going to say "out of time." All right, agility, academia, no focus, difficulty 1.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah, fine. That's
Dude,
Awesome.
you are cursed today.
Oh, man.
Diddy, you have not had
The curse of Sarthithus.
Is he cursed?
Are
or
you
is
sure
he
that this
killing
machine's
it?
working right?
All right, so he spends like all day painting what he thinks to be like really good, like a really good mural on this plane.
Oh boy.
Stick figures.
And he's like, he's like in a wife beater, right? And he's like splattered with paint. And there's like an old wooden ladder, and we just see him like standing there with like his arms on his hips, like his hands on his hips, and there's like buckets of paint with like paintbrushes in it, paint splashed all over the tarmac, and he's looking up at it.
Jonathan
I
arrives.
found what it looks like.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Jonathan arrives and he gets out of the Jeep and he just stares up at this on the side of his plane, and he just starts swearing in Chinese.
Henry walks along and takes a look at it, and he looks at Jonathan and says, "You didn't tell us we had any bird strikes during the last flight."
Oh, come on now. And he looks up and he says, "It's an elephant. It's an Indian elephant." And he's like shocked that this isn't appreciated. I was just trying to contribute to morale. God damn. He like slams a paintbrush into a bucket. You ungrateful sons of a bitches.
No,
It will surely strike
no
fear
need to
in
get
the hearts of our
upset.
enemies.
We're just joshing with you a little, Slim. I think we've come to know each other a little bit. I'm just pulling your leg a little bit. I think it's wonderful that elephant has two humps.
Oh, well. Well, thank you, Baker. I appreciate your appreciation of my efforts. Just trying to
I'll be proud to be seen in this airplane, especially if it functions.
Yeah, Jonathan goes storming off,
Oh.
shaking his head.
Some guys just don't appreciate art, buddy.
Well, thank you, Baker. I feel better now. He'll come around, I think.
All right. Gentlemen, this was a very short session, but it was fun to finish this out. We'll when we start next time, need you to have figured out where you want to spend experience. We'll award experience next time. I'm not sure. What is it? It's 10 points per upgrade, right? I think is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how much experience everyone's going to get. This was a relatively short one, but just keep in mind a couple things you want to upgrade. We'll hand that out next time and do that, and then we can have a quick discussion as to how you guys are going to approach Persia, because Thermo said, Persia is a big place. In fact, as of 1935, the Empire of Persia was officially broken down into its member nations, which predominantly are Iran and Iraq.
Yeah, so you got Tehran and Baghdad are the two cities that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I think Tehran was the most populous in the late 30s.
It was, and the Shah of Iran at this time was very Western thinking. And while Iran is technically under the British sphere of influence, French is actually the most widely taught European language. But there's also plenty of British or British, well, British English, I guess you might say. There's plenty of the King's English used for commerce. There's also Russian influences because Russia was trying to get their hands into Persia. There's literally at this point in history no less than 15 languages spoken in that area of the world. It's pretty outrageous.
Wow.
So,
we'll find one that sticks.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys will have to, like I said, you'll have to decide how you're going to approach Persia. You need a little more information. So
okay, so like we said, next Thursday's Thanksgiving, so we'll be shooting for the Thursday after that.
Correct, Thursday the 4th.
Cool.
Thursday the 4th. Cool. Really enjoyed it, gentlemen.
Absolutely. It was a lot of
Thank
fun.
You guys. Had fun as usual.
And Hachi, I emailed you that PDF file.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So if you upload it and send a copy to Kyle for his records.
Yeah, I got you. I'll take care of that.
Absolutely. I want to reread that.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Thanks, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you
All right.
too.
Yeah.
You too.
Same to you, bro.
Bye, guys.